We are back. Here's a question worth sitting with. A first-time buyer and a fourth-time buyer do not buy on the same clock. One is likely still figuring out whether they like the product that you've sold them. The other has obviously already made it part of their routine. So why do most brands send these customers the same email on the same day? Hi, I'm Alex Orley, and this is Hard Margins, your weekly e-commerce brief brought to you by RetentionX. For those of you that don't know, RetentionX is offering a cool new service where they will provide a free profit audit of your business. They'll go deep on your acquisition, retention, and margin data, then hand you the highest leverage moves to make in the next 90 days. For those of you not on RetentionX, I highly suggest checking this out. If you have questions or topics you'd like covered, reach out directly, alex@hardmargins.com. I'd love to hear from you. And with that, on to today's episode. This week, we're talking about Cadence, specifically why most retention programs run on a calendar the business controls rather than the rhythm the customer actually buys on, and what it costs when those two things do not match. So if you're listening to this, you probably know most post-purchase flows follow a structure that looks something like this. Day 7, education email. Day 21, product recommendation. Day 30, comeback offer. Day 45, a full win back. The problem with this is that the customer base doesn't behave in this sort of clean, metronomical fashion. Let's take a supplement or a beauty business, for example. A first-time beauty buyer who just discovered a brand might wait 45 to 60 days before placing a second order, regardless of the volume that comes in whatever product they've ordered. They're taking time to learn the product, they're building trust, and they're deciding whether or not the brand fits into their life. A fourth-time buyer might come back every 14 days because the product has already become a part of their consistent routine. Now send both of these customers the same 30-day post-purchase message. For the first-time buyer, day 30 is too early. The message is pushy, particularly if they haven't even finished the product. For the loyal buyer, day 30 is too late. You've missed their natural reorder window, and by then, they've probably started looking elsewhere or potentially even fallen out of their rhythm entirely. So it's the same email, the same offer, two completely different timing failures, and that's kind of the core point here. Cadence is not necessarily volume, it's timing, and the timing should follow the customer's actual behavior, not the campaign calendar. There are 4 shifts in thinking that naturally follow from this. First, your order count changes buying behavior in a specific direction. A first-time buyer needs trust, education, and a natural path to purchase. A fourth-time buyer needs rhythm, convenience, and low friction. The gap between orders usually shortens as loyalty builds. So new customers often take longer to place order 2 than loyal ones take to place order 5. Your cadence should compress as the buying cycle does. Second, the product matters as much as the order count. Someone who bought a cleanser doesn't have the same reorder window as someone who bought coffee or supplements or a sofa cover. Some products are inherently going to replenish on a short cycle, and some are inherently going to be seasonal. The last product a customer bought should shape the timing of the next message as much as where they are in their life cycle. Third, bad timing creates false conclusions. When a flow underperforms, most teams just blame the creative or the offer. Often the message is fine, it's just arriving at the wrong moment. Too early is going to drive up your unsubscribe rate, and too late makes customers look unresponsive when you simply missed the window. The diagnosis here matters because the fix for bad timing is not a better subject line. And last, the best cadence feels invisible. Strong retention doesn't feel like pressure, it should feel like the brand showing up right when the customer was about to think about reordering. That's the difference between the customer asking themselves, why are they emailing me again? And wow, this is good timing, I actually needed this. One of those is building a relationship and the other erodes it. So what you should do is start by mapping purchase gaps by order count. Find the median gap from order 1 to order 2, 2 to 3, and so on. This will tell you whether cadence should slow for new customers and speed up for loyal ones. If the median first to second gap is 45 days, Don't build your second purchase engine around day 14. The data is already in your customer file, and you just have to look at it. Next, layer in product-specific replenishment timing. Base your flow timing on the actual product cycle, not a generic rule. So if customers reorder one product after 32 days and another after 78, they should not share a reminder cadence. RetentionX will surface replenishment timing by product directly, which means you can build flows around what customers actually do rather than what feels like a reasonable assumption. You're also going to want to look at your first purchase product cohorts. So don't stop at average time between purchases. Ask which entry products create faster second orders, which create long gaps or weak repeat, and what customers typically buy next. This is where Cadence becomes product strategy. Your entry SKU tells you how patient or urgent the next touchpoint should be. So build your cadence rules by lifecycle stage rather than applying a single flow to everyone. First orders call for a slower educational trust-building sequence. Orders 2 and 3, likely a standard cadence with strong next best offer logic. And by the time you're in order 4 and beyond, you're calling for faster replenishment-aware, low-friction communication. Loyal customers, again, do not need the warming sequence that new ones do. And lastly, measure timing. Not just message performance. Track send timing against expected next order date, days to next order, repeat rate, and even contribution margin per recipient. A message that drives revenue but increases unsubscribes or discount dependency may still be arriving at the wrong moment. The metric that tells you the cadence is working isn't necessarily open rate, it's whether the customer came back on their own rhythm or whether you had to buy them back. So most retention programs are overbuilt on message volume and underbuilt on timing. If you want stronger LTV, the lever isn't more emails, it's matching your follow-up rhythm to the customer's actual buying rhythm. Order count, product purchased, replenishment window, expected next order date. Get that right and retention stops feeling like pressure and starts becoming habit. Thanks for listening. I'm Alex Orley. This has been Hard Margins brought to you by RetentionX. If you have questions or topics you'd like covered, reach out, alex@hardmargins.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you right here next week for our regularly scheduled programming.